just don't understand how you could be living in this world right now and not know what this game was, nor played this game. When I picked this game up, the first thing that probably caught your eye if you looked at the thumbnail, this is Dragon Ball Z or this is Dragon Quest. I mean, you're not wrong. Technically, it kinda is. Let me show you how exactly identical we think. 2010, GameStop. Dynasty Warriors Gundam in my hand in the right, and Blue Dragon in my hand in the left. Now I have to make a decision. Or the person that took me there at the time says, you're not getting anything. Now in my head, I'm like,
I'm leaving here with something.
So of course, me loving Dragon Ball, and Shu looks like a Dragon Ball Z character, I'm picking Blue Dragon. Now before I say anything else, I just want to say RIP Akira Toriyama. The creator of Dragon Ball actually worked with Hironobu Sakaguchi, which is the main person on this game who made the story, worked on the illustrations, and pretty much had 90% to do with this game. And that person, if you don't know, has worked on the first Final Fantasy games. That's why this game plays like this, and it has that same type of vibe, that old Japanese turn-based traditional RPG game, just with a cinematic anime type of view. That's why a lot of people on first look, just like me, are drawn to the game. They don't even know why. You are drawn to the game because greatness worked on the game.
That's why he's the GOAT!
Simple. And to add insult to injury, if it already wasn't crazy people working on the game already. A person named Kusunoki was responsible for the game worldview, and also a person named Matsumoto that worked on Blix Master of Time. That was both of their works. So the software and the worldview was both of their responsibilities. If anybody knows what Blix Time Master is, shout out to you. But if you don't know what that game is, it's a pretty cool game, and it was a dominant rough for me personally. If you know what that game is, put it down in the comments, let me know. But it's crazy to see that these three people were working on this project. That just lets you know that they really wanted this to be something different and big, and it was, in my opinion. Now Shu is a dog. When I first started picking up the game, everything just clicked for me. Now if you don't know anything about Blue Dragon, specifically the game or how the story starts off basically with Shu, Jiro, and Klook. Shu, Jiro, and Klook live in Tulta Village. Tulta Village always getting harassed / destroyed by something called a land shark. Now this is usually they plan for the land shark. Everybody goes up top, watches the land shark everything in the village up, and I'm not talking about just yeah, it's a little, nah bruh, I'm talking about that land shark is fucking the village up. But everybody in the villages, they're okay with that, because once the land shark leaves, they go back down, rebuild everything, we good, and ask no questions. Shu, Jiro, and Klook are the only ones in that village full of adults trying to figure out who is doing this, why are they doing this, and how can we stop them from doing this. They come up with a plan, simple plan. They come up with a booby trap. Shu is acting as the bait. Klook and Jiro are working on a booby trap. Now, who in this situation has the most risk involved? Shu. He's a dog. Shu speaks his mind, very raw and uncut, and his personality is very suited to what I like in a shonen character and any character on the show that I'm watching. So I'm instantly drawn into the story, and then you just get wrapped into this whole spiral of events that's happening. I feel like this is a really good start of a story for me personally, because you got the kids trying to save their village when the adults won't even step up. You got the adults hiding up top. You got the kids made a whole plan without any adults involved trying to save their village, and these is kids, because who the f is doing that? Not me. But other than that, that's basically how I got started in this series. Now when I first started this series, it's an RPG. I'm used to Dynasty Warriors, I'm used to games, you know, Call of Duty, play anything but a traditional turn-based RPG. I don't think I ever played a traditional turn-based until I got to Blue Dragon. So this was my introduction to RPGs. So being that was my first one, or this was my first one, it was rough on me. I didn't understand how the game worked, you know, like you have to pay attention, but I was basically just getting beat by like starter bosses. Literally I got beat by the starter boss like 15 times before I beat him, and I thought I was the man when I beat the boss, but it was all new to me. You know, I like that I slowly developed a love for the game, because you have to grind and you really have to learn about the game. So I was forced to learn who is is the best for magic attack, who is the best physical attack, who is the best for healing, and learning everybody's separate roles and getting beat over and over again builds a type of resilience. For me personally, I can't speak for nobody else, but when I can't beat a game, I actually get more excited. I like a challenge. So at that time as a kid, kind of just fell in love with the game. Just the music, the art style of the game, how the game plays, and even the design of some of the monsters in the game, even though they are
that's nasty,
ridiculous, but I just like that. Just little things like that made me slowly start to like it. I'm one of those players that I want to fully understand the game, so like once I fully understood it and knew what the hell I was supposed to be doing, it felt good because I like grinding and I like leveling my character all the way up. So that's all I did. I beat the game like several times over the years, 8 times, 7 times, and every time I played it, I learned something new. I found a new Easter egg, and then finally eventually I started to find the secret bosses of the game, and those bosses are literally harder than the last boss that you fight in the game by 100 times harder. Like, it's not even close. One of them is golden poo snake, the other one is a gold mecha robot, and there's a whole bunch of other ones scattered over the whole map, but a lot of them are dragons. A lot of them is, one of them is a big tree in the middle of nowhere, and it just makes you have to level up and also be very knowledgeable awareness about what are you doing, your skills, because these monsters will just kill you just one shot. I mean, so you got to go in there with a plan. So it was fun, actually. You know, it was fun because you had to think. You couldn't just push attack or push some spells. You had to learn about all of these classes, go in depth and train and grind. And it was actually a pretty fun time. You know, I never thought that I was going to like a game like that, because usually I thought I was a Call of Duty, just shoot 'em up. You know, I didn't think I had a different aspect of gaming to me, but I'm glad I played this because this introduced me to a whole world of RPGs. And from that moment, I just had a whole new respect for RPGs, to be honest. And the soundtrack just made everything feel so nostalgic. I don't know how to explain it. The music was made by somebody who had a direct correlation in Final Fantasy's music, so I feel like he knew what he was doing when he made the soundtrack of this game. Anybody who played this game can vouch. Plenty of calm, relaxing, and very good OST. Sometimes I would just sit in the menu with a game and just listen to the OST. And not only that, I actually like all the characters. The only person that really got on my nerves, to be honest, was Maru, just because he would not stop screaming.
Tell me, Maru, why do you have to shout so loud all the time? Maru don't know!
But other than that, Maru was pretty cool. It's just with the shouting, man, and his voice, I was like, and I love Maru, but you know, and shout out to the voice actor, but yo, some days I couldn't do it, man. I just couldn't listen to it all the time. King Jabbar was one of my favorite arcs in this game. It was so fun, even when you went on that ship and fought all them robots. That was really one of the hardest times of my life, was trying to get past that as a kid, because I just could not understand. I swear I probably died like 15 times. This is just one other robots up there. And this is my favorite thing about this game. You know the famous saying, you can make nothing into something? Literally, this game teaches you can make nothing literally into something, because every time you search something and get nothing, they add all of your nothings, and you can trade the nothings in. I know this sounds ridiculous, but you can trade the nothings in for accessories, some gears, some potions. Like, you could trade your nothings in to get rewarded. So the game puts incentives in the game to make sure that you just don't go through the story, don't search anything. It makes you want to search. So that's what I did on my second, my fourth, third, fifth playthrough. I would just search, see how many nothings I can get, see all the Easter eggs I can find, have the most OP gear I can find. Made me just want to keep exploring the game, basically, is what I'm saying. There's a lot of things that made me want to keep exploring this game. And not only that, it's the voice in which it says nothing in. But if you play this game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Even the voice when they said playable, locked, all that little, I will play it right now.
Nothing. 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 Item. Playable. Gold. Gold. Gold.
This shit means something to me, man.
That voice right there is just stuck in my head, and every time I hear it, it's like some dopamine explodes in my head pretty much. But just little stuff like that made me really fall in love with the game. It's a very unique, fun game to me, and the visual aspect of it makes you want to fall in love with it too, because like I said, Akira Toriyama and all these special people had something to do with it. And Akira Toriyama actually worked on Chrono Trigger and a lot of the Dragon Quest games as well, so it just makes sense that people from those genres or people that visually appeal to those games would like this game. And I think it's funny that the game actually came out before the actual series came out. They aired this in like 2007 or 8 on Cartoon Network, but the game was actually released in 2006 in December, so I think that's hilarious that the game is actually more canon than the actual anime. But it's pretty cool. The first season ran for 51 episodes from April 2007 March 2008, and the second season named Blue Dragon Trials of the Seven Shadows ran for another 51 episodes from April 2008 to March 2009 in North America. But it's pretty cool. I watched a little bit of season 1 just to see the comparison, and they got a lot of the same OSTs, which is pretty cool in the game, but story is just completely up. But I think that's pretty cool. This is one of the first games that's uniquely in that situation. In sequence, to my knowledge, I don't know any other game or anime that released the actual game before they actually released the series. Also, adding on to that, I think this is the very first game that was released on Xbox 360 that had multiple copies of the game. You know how you have to slide a different disc in for the game? The game came with 3 discs, and I think this was the very first game that was actually made like that, which is crazy to me. I didn't even know that, to be honest, which is like that the game kind of made history in that aspect, so it's pretty cool. And I didn't mind sliding the disc in until one of the discs broke. One of my disc 2 in particular did break, and I was very sad, but that's when I got accustomed to buying games online, and I think I just bought it online and I just started playing it that way. But when I did have a physical copy, I was highly pissed. Now I thought about it too. I would play the game, I'm like, damn, like they have so much on this game, they had to put it on 3 separate discs. But hey man, it still worked out for me. I still was having fun and I still like the game. But and all out, bro, I love Blue Dragon. I could sit here and talk about this for hours, literally. I'm not gonna make this video like too long. I just wanted to kind of come on here and say everything I like. So if you got some hidden jewels that you want to drop on this game, or you ever played this game, let me know down in the comments, man, please, because people be forgetting about this game too easily, bro. I love this game so much. I really wanted to put this on the pedestal on my channel. It's a very good game, and I think a lot of people should give it a chance. You know, really made my RPG career go to the sky, and it still is, and I'm still playing this game in 2026 to 2025 at the time of this video. So yeah, man, I just wanted to say I appreciate you, Blue Dragon, and everybody who had a making of this game. Amazing game. Hopefully we get a remaster in the future. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all later, man. Peace.